Hi, I'm Keshava from Keshava the Yoga, and this will be our first blog video of question and answers. I just received a question from one of our teachers, our certified teacher, and the question is as follows. Keshava, I have some question and maybe you can give some light on them. I have this lady that feels very light-weighted and she comes to my practice. The classes she came were calm and I didn't do any pranayama, breathing exercises, but she was saying she was feeling dizzy and light-weighted. Do you know what was causing that? Well, to feel dizzy or light-weighted or light-headed is something that it's something that happens when people that tend to have very shallow breathing, something that we tend to call chest breather. You can test it on yourself. If you just take a deep inhalation, you see that the tendency of us is to rise up, and the breathing goes mainly to the chest, and we're trying to expand and open the chest. What that means is that we don't use the diaphragm, we don't breathe to the belly, which is actually how we are supposed to breathe. The respiratory system, I won't go too deep into the aspect of respiratory system, but the way it works is the lungs are connected with connective tissue to the diaphragm, and when you breathe to the belly, the diaphragm muscle in the base of the rib cage goes down, presses down toward the abdominal region, and that pulls the lungs, expand them, and allow us to bring more oxygen into the body. Since most of us tend to breathe only to the chest, it means we are just using a very small portion of our lungs. In our practice, and that's why our teacher is encountering with that problem, is that we emphasize the breathing. We emphasize to use every movement that you do. For us, vinyasa is movement with breath and awareness. So every movement we do is guided by breathing. The pace of the movement will be the pace of your breathing. In our practice, the classic Hatha Yoga, the movement is a reflection of your breath. In that case, when we combine those two things together, we find that somebody that is not accustomed to breathe and is accustomed to receive only very small amount of oxygen to the brain and to the cells of the body, suddenly is encouraged to try and breathe deep. And then what happened is, because more oxygen arrived to the brain, we tend to feel a little light-weighted, light-headed, a little nauseous. But I can promise you, first of all, before I promise you, it's recommended when you encounter such a situation, tell the person to breathe a normal breath, according to the person, not to try to force the breathing, as with practice, slowly, the capacity of the body to receive oxygen and to make the most benefit out of it will grow as the person practices. We don't want to discourage a person to start practicing because every time he or she practices, she gets nauseous and lightheaded or dizzy. So I'm going to show you now the exercise that is recommended in such situations. way to do it is to slowly, when the person feels very dizzy, you just chin to chest and then very slowly roll into yourself. Knees softly bent, then gently, gently rolling into yourself. Again until the belly rests on the thighs, folding the elbows. In case the person feels very dizzy and nauseous, after a few moments of hanging down, gently guide him into Shavasana, the relaxation pose with a pillow under the head. That I recommend to you to do this practice. You can do it even without feeling lighted or dizziness. It's a very good practice that helps to bring more blood to the head. It's very nourishing and calming practice. You can start from a few seconds and let it grow to a few minutes, and you can really enjoy. It gives you deep work to the legs as well. That's it for this question. For the next blog, we'll continue with the question as we have few. Thank you very much. Namaste.